My brother-in-law does an impression of my dead mother at family parties. Last Sunday, he did it in front of her sister. My mom died 14 months ago, alone in her kitchen, and my brother-in-law Craig turned her into a party trick before the casseroles from the funeral had even gone bad. He'd pinch his voice up high and wobble it. Oh, turn that music down, my stories are on. Everyone would laugh. My husband would laugh. I'd sit there with my hands in my lap and let it happen. Because the one time I asked him to stop, he said, "Come on, it's how we keep her around." Last Sunday was my niece's christening. Half the family in my sister's living room, wine already open at 2 in the afternoon, and my Aunt Diane was there, my mom's baby sister. First time she'd been well enough to travel since the funeral. Craig waited until she was settled in the good chair. Then he stood up in the middle of the room and clinked his glass. Everybody, Grandma's got a message from beyond. I said, Craig, don't. Relax. He pitched his voice up. Did the hand thing she used to do. Oh, I'm cold. Somebody get my green cardigan. A few chuckles. He kept going. And where are the good scissors? The ones in the sewing tin. Diane, did you take my good scissors? Aunt Diane's wine glass hit the floor. She didn't drop it exactly. Her hand just opened. Red across the cream carpet, and she was staring at Craig like he'd grown a second head. Say that again, she whispered. Craig grinned. See, she's a fan. Say it again. Diane was on her feet. The part about the scissors. Say it again. The room had gone quiet. My sister said, Aunt Di, are you okay? Do you want to sit? How do you know that? Diane's voice was shaking. She was pointing at him now. How do you know she said that? Craig's grin flickered. It's her. It's how she talked. No, it isn't. Diane turned to me, and her face was white. Honey, your mother said those exact words to me on the phone. The scissors, the sewing tin. She said it, and then she made a sound and the line went dead. That was the last thing I ever heard her say. The wine was soaking into the carpet. Nobody moved. I never told anyone that, Diane said. Not the words, not the order. It's not in anything. So how does he know it? I looked at Craig. He'd stopped smiling. Craig, I said, where were you the night my mom died? How would I remember? It was over a year. You told everyone you were in Ohio. I stood up. My legs didn't feel like mine. For work. You told the whole family you were 300 miles away. I was. Her phone was never found. My voice came out flat and strange. The paramedics couldn't figure out why she never called anyone. We all just decided she didn't have time. I took a step closer, but she called Diane. So she had time. She had time to call, and she had time to say a whole sentence. And her phone walked out of that house on its own. You're insane, Craig said, but he'd backed into the arm of the couch. My husband had gone gray. Craig, show me your phone. This is a christening. Show him your phone, Craig. I was already crossing the room. He turned to shove past me and his jacket swung open and I saw it. The little cracked corner. The sticker of a sunflower my mom put on the back because she was always losing it. I grabbed it before he could close his hand. It was her phone. 14 months dead, and it lit up when I pressed it because he'd been keeping it charged in his pocket, carrying her voice around like a costume. You were there, I said. You watched her go down and you took her phone and you left her on the floor and you drove home. She was already gone. I couldn't have. You didn't call anyone. Diane was crying behind me. She was on the line with me and you were standing right there and you didn't call anyone. The room had turned into a wall of faces staring at him. My sister had her hand over her mouth. Somebody near the door had already taken out their own phone and was dialing. Craig looked around at all of them and did the only thing he had left. He pitched his voice up, high and wobbling, and he opened his mouth to be her one more time. And I hit play on the voicemail, and the whole room heard my mother's real voice say his name.